If I'm looking to really do best effort, then I've got to back shit up and I've got to take care of my business. The main thing that we try to always hammer with students is they're always in a hurry. I've got to get it right now. Even our conversation, remember way back when, started that way. And I was like, dude, this, if you can handle it, we need to change gears here. We need to go slow now in order to go fast later. It's not, a lot of people don't care for it because it's not the high intensity, sexy work, but it's that fundamental work that makes the high intensity, sexy work possible later.
Well, not only possible, but safer.
We don't train through pain. As a national team coach for a long time, physical preparation was always our number one priority. We built the physical structure first. Whereas in our training program, we call everything, you need an optimal surplus. You need an optimal surplus range of mobility, range of motion. You need an optimal surplus of strength. You need an optimal surplus of stability. You need what you need to perform and a little extra for when things go south. Not if things go south, when things go south. And so you prepare the body for that ahead of time. So when it does go wrong, it's like, oh, whew, that didn't hurt. I didn't get nothing's injured. Moving on, next turn. Is it going to be boring? It is. 210 days. We're talking 6-7 months of dial it back, guys. Dial it back.
It means that you're not rushing, but it doesn't mean that you won't.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you won't experience a lot of progress.
So as we get some people who are addicted to the rush. And the problem with that is if you're a world-class athlete, you can't do that because I have to be back in the gym the next day and train again. We want to work to where the body is working, but we don't want to work so hard. It's like for a long time, there was a big thing for people doing kipping pull-ups to take pictures of their hands being raw and bloody from their rips. Yes. Yeah, they worked really hard. Now, I looked at it differently. I looked at it as like, you stupid shit. What are you going to do tomorrow now?
Right.
Because there's no amount of work you can do today that could offset the amount of progress you could have made throughout a properly structured week. It's an attitude deal. So an immature athlete is someone who wants what they want right now. Okay? A mature athlete is someone who's willing to do what needs to be done now to get rewarded for it later, the delayed gratification. And it's the mature athlete that in the long run always comes out on top. They're always the ones with the greater longevity and the greater success. The other ones, the immature ones, if they're really talented, they may stay ahead for a while, but eventually you're going to get so dinged and broken and beat up that they have to step aside. And the mature guy, the mature athlete or woman, right? They're just doing their thing day in, day out. It's the consistency that adds up over time. That's where you see these great athletes. Got to understand, you see a world-class athlete that did not start training yesterday. This is a multi-year process. If I ask you tomorrow, Tim, go home tonight and write me a book with 365 pages, you're like, Chris, you've lost your fucking mind. But if I say, Tim, I want you to write me a single page, every day. In a year, we've got a book with 365 pages. But if I look at that thickness of a single page, it's so thin that it seems negligible, that it doesn't even matter. It's like, why did I bother?
Doing each day less than you feel maximally capable of it's a fantastic sort of positive reinforcer.
Leave a little in the bank, right?
Leave a little in the bank.
Does a 35-year-old need to be able to produce at 90%? No, they're not full-time professional athletes. They don't have time for that. Can they produce at 75, 80%? Yes, they can. And the interesting thing is that just by being consistent, putting some consistent years of training in, that puts you in the top 1% of the human population in terms of physical ability.